Defense mechanisms are behaviors people use to separate themselves from unpleasant events, actions, or thoughts. These psychological strategies may help people put distance between themselves and threats or unwanted feelings, such as guilt or shame. So the idea of defense mechanism comes from psychoanalytic theory, a psychological perspective of personality that sees personality as the interaction between three components: id, ego, and superego. First proposed by Sigmund Freud, this theory has evolved and contends that behaviors, like defense mechanisms, are not a person's conscious control. In fact, most people use them without realizing the strategy they're using. So without further ado, here are 3 examples of defense mechanism that you might be using or have used unconsciously. First is displacement. This defense mechanism happens when you direct strong emotions and frustrations towards a person or object that doesn't feel threatening. This allows you to satisfy an impulse react, but you don't risk significant consequences. So here's a short skit.
Boss, pinapatawag niyo daw po ba ako?
Yes, sit down.
May nagawa po ba ako?
Sa tingin mo ba't papatawag kita kung wala kang kapalpakang nagawa?
Boss, sorry po, di na po makaulit.
Mali-mali kasi ang binibigay mong dokumento sa mga investors natin.
Boss,
Dahil dyan, hindi na sila mag-i-invest sa kumpanya natin.
boss, huwag naman ganun, boss.
Wala akong pake.
Boss, huwag naman.
Hindi na talaga mauulit yan dahil you are fired.
Ba't naman po ganun, boss?
Wala akong pake. Ayoko na explanation mo. Leave my company now. Umalis ka na dito. Alis! You're fired.
Wish talaga to araw na to.
Bakit ka galit? Kakapasok mo pa lang.
Siya hindi magagalit dahil tanggal ako sa trabaho.
O bakit parang kasalanan ko?
Basta,
Sa akin
mo
ka
ko
lang
sa akin.
nagalit.
The second one is called reaction formation. People who use this defense mechanism recognize how they feel, but they choose to behave in the opposite manner of their instincts. So here's an example.
Bes, kilala mo ba yung bago nating classmate?
Sino? Sino dun?
Si Jake, yung transferee.
Ah, bakit? Ano meron sa kanya?
Masyado kasing sip-sip, di ba? Kakapasok niya pa lang, tapos ganun na agad yung inaasal.
Ay, oo nga, napapansin ko rin yan. Nagigigil na rin ako talaga dun minsan eh.
Naku talaga, pag ako hindi nakapagtimpi, awayin ko yun.
Sige, Bes, go. Support kita dyan.
Hello, Jake.
Uy, Samantha.
Absent ka kasi kahapon, so may pinagawa yung teacher natin na notes para sa exam natin next week. So, papahiram ko na lang tong notebook ko.
Wow, ang bait mo naman sa akin, Samantha. Salamat.
You're welcome. Ito na.
The third one is sublimation. This type of defense mechanism is considered a positive strategy. That's because people who rely on it choose to redirect strong emotions or feelings into an object or activity that is appropriate and safe. So here's an example.
So, hello students! So, ayun nga, alam nyo naman to, di ba? So, malapit na ang foundation day ng school natin. So, dahil dyan, gusto ko ng representative sa section natin. So, gusto ko yung magaling sa arts, magaling mag-painting. So, meron ba sa inyo dito?
Sir, ako po. Magaling po ako sa painting.
Wow, sige, sino? Okay. Oh, meron pa bang marunong mag-painting dyan bukod kay Reyna?
Kawawa naman yung iba dyan, di marunong mag-painting. Da.
O si Paul, magaling ba yung mag-painting?
Ay naku sir, hindi talaga yun magaling sa painting. Iyo.
Sir, wala po talaga akong talent sa pag-paint.
So, bukod sa painting, may iba ka pa bang talent?
Marunong at magaling po akong sumayo, sir.
Ano ba kami pakitaan ng the moves mo dyan?
Sige po, sir.
Sige nga, sige nga. Wow, mahusay naman pala itong batang to sa pagsasayaw. Siguro dahil dyan, ipapalista kita para mag-represent through dancing. Pwede ba yon? Okay ba
Sige po,
yun?
sige, maraming salamat po.
O sige, okay na yon. Thank you. Class dismissed.
And there you have it. Those were the three examples of defense mechanism, and to name a few. So, how's my acting skills, everyone? So, please do take note that defense mechanism can be viewed as a type of self-deception. You might be using them to hide emotional responses that you don't want to deal with from yourself. However, it's done mostly on an unconscious level, and you're not always aware when your mind or ego will respond. And that wraps up our discussion about defense mechanism, and I hope that you learned something from this. By the way, I am Mark John Lorano Sebe, and I hope we'll see each other soon in person. And thank you.